Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your monthly reading for November. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. The months are literally flying on by, but November has arrived and it promises to be a pretty big month ahead, for we have officially moved into smoldering Scorpio season. And let's just say that this month it may slip on in quietly, but it certainly holds a lot of gravitas, a lot of intensity, and it also offers you an opportunity for your fearless inner strength to make some major power moves in silence. But the results and the rewards, shall we say, will make some monumental noise in your future. For you shall be magnetic, a highly transformative month to do a deep dive emotionally and rise up like a phoenix to rebirth, overcome any issues, and reclaim your power, your sovereignty, and of course success. Now, the truth, they say, shall set us free, and this is a supercharged month of cathartic release and reset as captivating Scorpio season bestows Plutonian energy upon us all. Now, this is a time to face our truth with a critical eye and cast out anything that does not enrich your soul or, of course, your journey ahead. It is here that we hold ourselves to higher standards, and with a laser-like focus, this month it's full steam ahead. That final push before December encourages a slower pace. Now, persuasive Scorpio season amplifies persistence and tenacity as the driving force and determination behind your plans, your goals, and your dreams. This month encourages you to seek your truth and wear it proud. Confront any fears, challenge the status quo, ask leading questions to dig a little bit deeper and contemplate the mysteries of you and all that you are capable of and more, as well as your interaction within your inner world and the world outside of yourself. Now also, your sensual side comes out to play as you explore new experiences and challenge yourself out of your comfort zone. You know, this is a month to dare, to double dare even, as your inner rebel sets the tone and the pace for the coming weeks ahead. But it's not all action-packed, for you may also have a profound sense of yearning for alone time, a real desire to process your path, understand your emotions, and let go of the past, and also make sense of the deeper undertones of life. Emotional security and your home life will be firmly on your mind as you try to make sense of a world undergoing a radical shift. Now, the full moon is a super moon this time round. There's this one and one more before we close out the year. And this super full moon will be in the sign of Taurus on the 5th of November. And it'll offer you an opportunity to remain practical and stay on top of your finances, especially since your second house and your 8th house will be influencing you all month. So you're all about your money, all about your sense of value, valuing yourself and what you have to offer, but also, you know, making sure that money is reciprocal and that you have an opportunity to save a little bit. It will will help you foster habits to attract more. But also we have the Uranus retrograde, which is occurring at this moment in time, but it will dip back into Taurus. It'll request that you revisit financial strategies or reevaluate spending habits there, but also with a notion to gift yourself a little treat for you, or indeed receive a token of appreciation from an alternative source. Now, this retrograde helps you rewire or plan without any sudden, unexpected plot twists, flinging you out of your comfort zone. It's always nice to step out of your own comfort zone, not be flung by a sudden plot twist. So that will be a calmer energy for you to deal with this month. However, Mercury retrograde is a different story. It's notorious for causing issues with communication systems, delays, social media network glitches, miscommunications, and general befuddlement, especially since clarity is sought during this time. So I would say get everything in writing as documented proof, save down financial statements just to prove finances should there be that glitch. Now, the 6th of November sees Venus get up close and personal in the sign of Scorpio. So if you're single, expect sparks to fly with a new encounter. And if you're already committed, this month will dial up the chemistry and take things to a whole new level. It's time to adore and explore. Now, this month, it sounds like a lot, right? But breathe, because Jupiter retrogrades on the 11th, and it asks you to relax, to question where you're spending your energy, and it reminds you that you've got this. For Scorpio season actually nudges you to be the change that you want to see in your world. And with that fire in your soul coming to the surface, you'll be excited by the revamp. Now, in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you don't wish to hear it, I did mention in my 2025 forecast that this year was a monumental shift year. Neptune's 165-year orbit period is about to complete. It just dipped back into the sign of Pisces as a final salute before moving permanently into your sign, my beautiful Aries. So this is a big deal. This is really going to affect you strongly there. You'll feel the gear shift. It may be a little bit hard at first, but it will pan out for you. Now, this time period will never occur again in our lifetime. Last time Neptune shifted like this was between 1847 to 1875. Now, why could this be relevant? Well, during that time period, it documents radical revolution, uprisings, advancement in technology, famous gold rushes, agricultural struggles, changes in monarchy, a shift in higher consciousness, which also saw the rise in spiritualism as people returned to their core values. And incidentally, the Suez Canal even underwent significant construction affecting trade. Now, we see the same progression in that very area as we embark on the same cycle. Now, I'm not saying that history will repeat itself in this timeline, but perhaps we can learn from the past to understand the present direction. Now, I mentioned that this year would also be about fire and water. Neptune in Pisces affects oceans. When it moves into your sign, my beautiful Aries, it's going to affect fire. Land masses that have lain dormant for hundreds of thousands of years are awakening and will continue to do so. Also, it could affect underwater topography. And a solar maximum flare could impact a seismic event or a potential major power outage too. Plus, we will also hear more about that mysterious three-eye atlas. And the conversation will be around its unusual light anomalies, okay? Now, also Mars, which affects you heavily, moves into the sign of Sagittarius. So on a personal level, that's going to affect you to be more spontaneous, to be more impromptu, to focus on your goals, your dreams, but it could also cause a little bit of tension or a misunderstanding with somebody. So I want you to be aware of that. But also, in terms of global events, Mars, as you know, is a fiery planet associated with confrontation and war. Combined with impulsive Sagittarius energy, this can trigger a gamble with audacious moves in order to expand or control. Rhetoric is replaced with action when these two combine. So in terms of global events, of course, that can indicate to volatile energy. But in terms of personal energy, this could also indicate that, you're no longer just talking about your plans. You're taking action and you are taking control of something. And it could be hard. You could have a little bit of an inner battle there, or maybe, some people could be jealous of your rise to success, for example, but there's so many layers to energy. That's what I'm highlighting there. So on a personal level for you, this new moon in Scorpio, which occurs on the 19th of November, it offers you a chance at something new, but also with an electric twist. Something bold, something daring, but most importantly, something meaningful, something true to who you are. It also offers you a period of reflection where you contemplate stealthy moves towards abundance and security. And I definitely see here that you're moving towards success and abundance there. But true power, it moves in silence. So actually, I see this Three of Swords, a little bit differently, which is unusual. But I'll tell you what I'm feeling from this for you right now. It can be that there's going to be some monumental success that comes in for you, and you really want to talk about it. You really want to tell someone about it. But you may have to hold back a little bit and, wait for the right moment. So for some of you, like not all of you, of course, it could be that you find out that you're pregnant and you want to tell everybody, but you're like, oh, I can't do it just yet. And you may be like busting at the seams to tell someone. But also it could be, a financial goal that you reach, or you get some great news around your career success. It feels like you're trying to hold it all in, but you want to just tell people, especially your nearest and dearest there. So I'm also seeing that there for you as well, because there is some great stuff coming here. You've got the Chariot card and you've got the Empress, but because you've got the High Priestess, you have to keep quiet about some monumental success and wait for the right moment to reveal, okay? But you may consider who you can trust in order to let them in on your plans or your successes. But, a spark of the divine is lit within you this month, helping you to engage more fully in all that enriches your soul, your world, and of course, your wonderful path ahead. And I would say, with this card here, of course, this is a Strength card. This is an energy of you being a true force of nature this month. You're a go-getter. You're going after what you believe in. And of course, it's hard. I mean, you've got the Five of Swords, so that tells me you have a lot on your mind right now. You may feel there's a missing ingredient in your life and you're trying to work out what it is. I feel also a lot of you have been dealing with a lot of change right now, and you've been showing up, bringing your A game, and there's an energy here of a little bit of tension. Okay, Five of Swords, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there is 3 figures on that card. And of course, they are aspects of self. Outgrowing parts of yourself requires change, advancement, flexibility. So I feel a lot of you are outgrowing people, situations in your life, and it causes tension, when you're at a different frequency or a different mindset from people. So you may be at odds with some people, because there's a couple of people here in your reading, 3 in particular there, potential of a 4th, but I feel the 4th doesn't really want to get too involved in this, whatever this is. So it could be like some sort of conversation or a little bit of tension, but tension only arises when there is a need for change. And a lot of you, because this is your reading, it can be that there is a need within you rising up where you're feeling a little bit anxious. You have a desire for more, you have an appetite, you're feeling restless there, and that is going to spring you into action in order to make long-lasting changes in your life. A lot of you definitely need to stay on top of your hydration levels is what I'm seeing there, but I feel like you're looking at transforming your diet, your exercise routine, your money for sure, especially since your second house is influencing you there as well. But this is about your sense of value, okay? This card indicates that you have a lot of power, you have a lot of resources all within yourself, and you're unlimited in your inner resources. I feel this is a period of self-respect, especially since your second house there of value is asking you, how do you value yourself? How do you conduct yourself so that other people respect you as well? You may be looking at situations where you've given away your power in the past, because Scorpio season is going to make you lean into the past a little bit in order to process your present so that you can set yourself free for the future, and it does not limit your happiness there. But you may be looking at when you've undersold your talents, or you've noticed when people took advantage of your enthusiasm for the things that you love doing. It can be that you've noticed when people underestimate you, but actually you're going to have this glow up because you're starting with the Queen of Wands, which means you're very attractive. It means that you're someone who gets a lot of attention, whether that's in your career, whether that's in romance. But we've got the Empress, which is like you being in full bloom at the end of the month. So whatever you are doing with your beauty routines, self-care rituals, you're really going to see evidence of it working. You're going to feel really great about yourself. A lot of you, you may be looking at rituals regarding anti-aging. That's something that's coming out there because you do not look your age. So it could be something that you're utilizing, maybe a natural product or something that just keeps you fresh in your routines. And I feel there is an energy here of you kind of like getting a compliment. And actually, you know, I am being given this energy and I have to give it to you. May not resonate with everyone, but there may be someone who is close to you who gives you a compliment, but it feels like a backhanded compliment because there's a little undercurrent of jealousy there. You know, you're looking good. You are looking at the energy here. You're feeling good, but I feel a lot of you, you know, there's an energy of if you're asked, how's things going? Because you've got that Three of Swords there, you may be like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I feel like you don't want to burden anyone with your struggles because, of course, you may be going through something right now, but you're an Aries, so you're always someone who's like, I can take control of this situation. I'm on to the next thing. I'm not going to let it get me down. But I do see you leaning into a friendship and maybe having a moment, sharing a beverage or something, and just discussing some plans. And, of course, it solidifies your relationship. But there's just one person that you feel has surprised you by the end of the month in what they say, you know, because when you have a Queen of Pentacles in the resistance position, it can talk of envy. And for some of you, it can be financial envy, or they look at you and they think, well, you've got it all going on. But, you know, you're someone that you may keep your struggles private sometimes, and it shows that you're a very strong person, but people then don't see all that it takes to run your life, blood, sweat, and tears, moments of, you know, feeling the pressure. But you're someone who, you know, you're utilizing your power in your situation to transform your life. You're the sort of person that does not sit there and say, oh, this is hard, I can't do it. You're the sort of person that says, this is hard, this is a challenge, I'm up for it, let's make this happen. So I feel here that you're going to be rewarded for all your hard work, all the effort that you're putting into your life right now. And, you know, of course, we have a maturity card with the strength card. So a lot of you are thinking about your legacy. And that's your second and eighth house right there. You're thinking about what you have to offer the world, how you're a gift to the world, to the people around you, to your circumstances, to your career. You're very gifted and very talented. You're making sure financially there is reciprocal energy. But because there is this sense of legacy, because of those two houses, you know, this can be about all the fortune that you have, or the money that you're saving, or your property that you're investing in, or if you're renting, you may be looking at trying to invest in real estate. You're thinking about 401ks, pension pots. How can you double your money? How you can multiply your wealth, compound your wealth. You may be looking at financial structures that lean into generational wealth there as well. Some of you may even think about, you know, looking at making money from the home space, selling pre-loved goods, decluttering your home space and saying, oh, I love this once, but I've outgrown it, I don't need it anymore. So you may be putting it online to earn some extra money, and it just brings in extra finances there. Some of you may also contemplate, if you're, you know, thinking about extra money and you're feeling the pinch a little bit there, you may contemplate a seasonal role or an alternative role there. I mean, with the Three of Swords, you're holding it all together. It's going to be hard. You're going to be exhausted. You have a lot on your mind, a lot on your to-do list, but I feel like you really excel at it. I feel like you love it. I feel like you do bring in excess money, and that's going to help you treat yourself, have a little bit more luxury as well, because you have lots of luxurious cards here. So some of you, if you are in a career where you can get a promotion, definitely promotion vibes. You worked hard for this, but there is something here that is a little bit of a disappointment in and around it. So I can't tell what this is. I mean, for some of you, it could be that there's more travel involved, which means that you have a little bit less time with your family or friends, for example. For some of you, it can just be that you got this promotion and you can't talk about it. It's embargoed right now, and it's something that you want to shout from the mountaintops like, yeah, I did it. It almost dampens the nature of the success because you feel like you can't talk about it, for example. For some of you, it could be that, because there's just this hush-hush energy here, for some of you, it can also be that perhaps there was some rivalry for this role, and perhaps, you know, the person that you were in competition with to get this role, perhaps you really like this person and you feel, oh, it's bittersweet. You know, that you got this role, and then perhaps it just changes the dynamic with the person that you work with or the person that was up for this role. There's definitely an energy here of you blooming in your industry and elevating and attracting more wealth here, especially since you have that Queen of Pentacles energy. There's rabbits there, which means multiplying wealth. So I would say that there is an opportunity for promotion. Now, some of you may also find that there are better opportunities elsewhere. So you may be contemplating leaving. You have the Death card energy right here, and you have the Chariot card. I feel a lot of you could empower yourself and find an alternative opportunity that brings in more wealth for you. And this will really take hold next year. You really make it your own, very creative. You're very talented. You're very gifted. So as soon as you get this opportunity, I feel like you hit the ground running and you advance quite quickly. Even if this role has no further place to reach for, I feel like they will create an alternative role for you in the future because you're so awesome at what you do. They want to expand with you. They want to nurture your career, okay? Now, if you are someone also who is currently out of work, you have a lot on your mind, whether you were made redundant or whether you are someone whose contract came to a natural conclusion there, I feel like there are a couple of opportunities coming on in here for you that you will have to think about. I feel like you choose the one that's got the greatest status with the greatest money, of course, and you will have to let the others down. Now, there may be one role that was very tempting that you nearly chose. Three of Swords, I feel there is this energy of letting it down, because I feel like you let someone down here. And for some of you, it could be that you have some plans, personal plans this month, where you have to be really flexible. I'm seeing a game of Twister in the water right now. That means you may have to overstretch yourself to make it work, or you have to reimagine your plans or let someone down. You have to make an alternative move. So this could be a personal plan where you have to, change or be flexible or reschedule, and you feel like you're letting that person down. You don't like to let people down, my beautiful Aries, so that's why it may feel a little bit disheartening. And this person, they may go a little bit quiet on you for a little while because they are a little bit wounded by this, but I feel like you will repair the relationship. They understand, they come round, okay? It's not a big deal. You don't do this often to this person, but I also feel in terms of a career move, you may have to let someone down in order to take this new role. But also I see some of you, if you're interviewing out there at the moment, and it is hard, I feel there is one interview process that you feel is a little bit disrespectful. I hate to mention that, but I feel, own your truth. Value yourself. You're in the room for a reason. Your skill set is like monumental, and you're a real gift and an asset to the environment. You wouldn't be in the room in the first place if they didn't see your resume and think you were up for the job. But there's one person, and I feel there's nepotism here. There's one person who wants the role to go to someone else, and they feel like they're sabotaging the interview process. I would say be diplomatic, be professional, because this person's going to show themselves up, okay? And I feel there could be some sort of connection between, the industries or the roles that you go up for. So if you're going for an alternative role at another company, they may actually know someone from the company that you went for an interview with. So just, be diplomatic, but of course forthright, speak your truth. And I feel like there was part of you that's like, I think I'm going to have to let this go. But most importantly, you may feel frustrated that they wasted your time. You just get a feeling from this person, it's instinctive, that the role is already filled with someone in-house. And you're right. So this may be a role that you actually really wanted, but it's going to go elsewhere. The universe is actually protecting you and directing you towards something better. Three of Swords is often a silver lining. It means you're on course to be somewhere else that's better, somewhere where you can grow, something that doesn't stifle your growth. Look at this figure. We've got, all the arrows hitting the target. You hit your mark. You're right on course, and this is right in the center of the budding rose there, and it didn't go your way. However, this figure is completely in bloom, way more opportunity. So again, remember that any rejection is protection and redirection towards something greater, okay? Now, with this Five of Swords, I do feel like you have a lot on your mind, my beautiful Aries, no matter who you are, whether you're in a career, whether you're not, whether you're searching for a role, whether you're retired. Five of Swords can indicate that something needs to change right now, and it's really hard. You're feeling it, and the Queen of Wands is you having the power, tenacity to follow your passions. Your passionate spark will actually push any obstacles out of your way, and I feel this is you being dedicated to your vision. You're shining your light. You're not allowing anyone to dull your shine. You're definitely having a glow up there. The Queen of Wands energy is you being extra creative, extra outgoing, very sociable time for you. Now, of course, your 8th house is going to help you transform your joint finances. So a lot of you could be shining a spotlight on how to grow your finances or attract more or utilize what you have right now in order to yield better results. So, you may be looking at mortgage repayments or remortgaging or refinancing or loans, plans, credit card debt, paying it down, or utilizing debt as leverage in order to purchase real estate or purchase something that will bring in extra money there. So a lot of you are transforming your finances for the better this month. Even on like a really kind of like simplistic level, there is an energy here of you making your money go a long way and being able to save more money, but also having wonderful new ideas or even drawing in opportunities to make more wealth. This is a card of news. So good money news that will transform everything here, okay? And I feel there's just an energy of you kind of investing in your future and also in your future plans. I would also say a lot of you, if you've just gone through a separation, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. I can see that, there is a wound. I mean, Scorpio season asks everybody to look at the wound. Where is it? How can you mend it? How can you process it? How can you bloom from it? Remember, you're the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it doesn't have to be like a heartbreak or a separation. It can be that it's just a struggle right now, and this month is your rise. Okay, and I definitely see that happening there. But if you are someone who has gone through a divorce or separation and you're really feeling it this month, because this is a month of nostalgia, this is also a month to acknowledge that you're getting a lot of attention. Peacocking yourself, acknowledging that you are attractive both inside and out, and your passion is magnetic. So be your wonderful self, get yourself out there, be loud and proud, take up more space. If you think about the peacock, when the feathers are aligned, it is a very small bird. But when the feathers are fanned, then, of course, you have arrived. This is about taking up more space in your life. A lot of you, if you're in business, it could be that you're promoting your work or creating creative alliances to partner up with social media platforms or get your business seen in some way. If you are someone who works for a company, you're being seen for opportunities. You are going to be very successful. There's leadership energy you're on course for right now. You are stepping up and elevating in some way. And, if this is a month where you're giving back to yourself, because a lot of you, this is as you mature, you're investing in self-care. So you may be leaning into more routines where you heal yourself. You really look at the missing ingredient in your life and you set about mending it or finding a way to, discover it and have it in your life. I feel like you're a totally changed person than you used to be a couple of years ago. And actually, as you mature, you're going from strength to strength. I feel like you're getting more attractive. I feel like you are in a period where perhaps you are rediscovering your spark. And yes, you're working really hard for this. So a lot of you could be hitting the gym or being more active this month and really seeing the results of all your investment in self-care. A lot of you also could be working super hard this month in order to take a vacation there. I feel there could be some sort of delay that could be frustrating in and around your plans regarding travel. Okay, I will pull a card on that Three of Swords just to see what it is, because it could be that as you go on a vacation, there could be like a misunderstanding or like a moment of conflict, an argument with somebody just before you're about to go off and have fun. And you're like, oh, really? This happens all the time. So a lot of you could be a little bit fed up or frustrated with someone who pushes your buttons or tries to get some sort of reaction just when you're about to go away and have a vacation. I feel it's not something that this person is doing on purpose. It just means that sometimes pressure is on the rise and people are trying to get everything organized, and people just kind of like on the spontaneous energy kind of like reach their limit and say something out of turn. And I feel you'll resolve this. There's a lot of unconditional love and understanding here. Both of you get each other, that you're under pressure. So also though, I'm actually acknowledging something personally coming out for you, where you may witness or notice someone who's close to you that every time you do really well, they cause some sort of drama or conflict. And it's not that you're withdrawing from this person's energy completely. I feel like you're just limiting your interaction with this person, and maybe even limiting what you tell this person, because you just feel like their negativity gets you down, or their drama threatens to rain on your parade or try and like overshadow you. This could be a friend or a frenemy, perhaps. I feel like they're struggling with their own self-worth right now. And of course, we all need to take account for our actions. I feel like you understand, but at the same time, you're like, you know what? I don't want to keep dealing with this. So I see some of you kind of like limiting your time with this person, not cutting them out, but limiting time. Now, the Death card, of course, indicates a lot of you are focused on endings in your life and new beginnings. This could play out in many different ways. It could be that you are fed up of, frequenting the similar places that you go to. So you're seeking new events, new experiences. You want a little bit more excitement there. I mean, with your 8th house, a lot of you, because this is the Death card energy, your 8th house helps you lean into the spirit world a little bit more. So a lot of you could book like a medium, or could have a tarot reading this month that really highlights the path that you're on towards success, how you are growing really well into yourself, learning more about your needs, articulating yourself from a healthy space, and also leaning into your life philosophy and learning more about who you are and celebrating how far you've come. But also, a lot of you could be interested in documentaries about the unknown or the mysteries of the universe, for example. A lot of you, there will be this intensity as well this month to focus on your goals and get everything that you started done. So there is a flurry of activity. I mean, the Twister image is coming up again, so I would say that this is you kind of like being really flexible, maybe even bending over backwards just to make sure everything is done before you take a trip, or if you're booking a trip, could be a quick trip. For some of you, because the 2nd house and the 8th house combined can be about stability and home space, of course. So a lot of you could have a staycation, and you could be doing a lot of decluttering in your home, DIY, because of course, 2nd house is about aesthetics. So you could, revamp your bedroom or your home space, or you could be decluttering and, as I said, selling pre-loved goods there. But this is a card where, for some of you, if you have been feeling stuck or you've had something on your mind that is a bit of a problem, this is a big problem-solving month for you, where the answers come to you, but it may be a difficult decision there with that 3 of Swords. Now, this is only if you're dealing with this at this moment in time, of course. Some of you who've come to this reading, you may be going through a period of grief. If someone very close to you has transitioned and passed over there, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. There's going to be a lot of signs from this person that they walk by your side. The 8th house is going to help you notice and feel their presence a lot more, because the veil between worlds, October-November shift, will help amplify any encounters or interactions there. And I feel like, of course, there may be a large wave of grief around this period. Maybe it is a monumental date that you celebrate someone's life, but also it could be that, you are given a sign that does bring relief for some of you, because the Empress energy is, a feeling of warmth, of care, of devotion, of kindness, of love, of support. And I feel a lot of you could feel their presence. Ask for a specific sign. I'm actually seeing it looks like a butterfly, but it could be a moth, okay, around a light bulb. That's what I'm seeing in the water right now. So some of you may encounter, an insect trying to flutter around a light bulb. This is going to be a little indication from someone in spirit that they're around, that they visit you often, and that they are with you, walking through your grief. They understand it, but they want you to live. They want you to enjoy the moment. And of course, easier said than done, I absolutely know. I'm very well aware that there are literally no words that can ever comfort you. It is a process, and they do say that time is a healer, but no, time helps you manage the course of events and the feelings there. And of course, with the Empress energy, I feel that there is a message in and around this. Be a little bit kinder to yourself. So this is something that is coming out there. So this is very precise, may not resonate with everyone, of course. And I'm being shown a golden chain with what looks like a heart on it as well. It's almost like someone is taking the chain out and just looking at it. So if this is, perhaps a family heirloom, or if this is something that is very important to this person, or maybe it's something that's important to you, This could be something that someone in spirit is witnessing as you just look at a necklace. It's about a heart. You know, it feels like there's a lot of love there, a lot of unconditional love, and it's being sent to you. So these are all images I'm being shown right now. With a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from this energy, but do ask for a specific sign that is personal to you, because you shall have it. This is the month to really get that sign. Now, with that death card energy, I feel for some of you, you could be waiting for results this month that are going to come through. I feel, again, it's bittersweet. Okay, I can't lie to you and what's going on here. I feel it's more sweet than bitter, that's for sure. So it could be like, oh, this is great news. Oh, but I got to do that. Okay, I mean, that's manageable. That's fine. I can do that. But, oh, that's a bit of a frustration there. So as I said, I will pull a card on that Three of Swords there. But the Page of Cups, if you're looking for love, I would say where you kind of almost gave up on love, suddenly love appears. I would say a change in your routine is going to put you in a position to meet someone new. Page of Cups is the vision of love becoming your reality. But if you're already in a relationship, I would say you and your partner could be talking about some sort of travel plans. I also see some of you could be contemplating leaving a neighborhood or leaving a place that you once felt was great, that you really loved, but now you're on to bigger and better things. A lot of you could be contemplating this big move, either with your partner or with yourself. It doesn't have to be with a partner. You could be contemplating a move, and you're weighing up the pros and cons of this relocation, because this is the Chariot card right here, and there's a place you'd love to move to. However, for some of you, you may be moving away from family or friends, and this could cause a little bit of pain, a little bit of sadness there. Okay, so again, it feels bittersweet, if you know what I mean there. I feel like for some of you, it could be something you're just weighing up right now. Perhaps you didn't tell anyone that you're thinking about moving, and it's a tough decision. For some of you, it could be for work, okay? But when you reveal your plans to the people who are closest to you, of course, they celebrate your success. They celebrate you moving on to bigger, better things and wonderful opportunities for you. But of course, there's also a wound, like they feel you're moving on without them. There's going to be a moment where there is this bittersweet conversation for some of you if you are evolving away from a place that you are at right now. It's natural for a cycle of change to occur, but especially if you're moving away from a parent, or if you're retired, you could be deciding to live abroad, for example, away from your family, and you could actually reveal your plans to family members, and whilst they are thrilled that you're doing something exciting for you, they worry about you, they want to be there with you, they're going to miss you. So of course, a bittersweet conversation potentially in November there. But bringing it back to the Page of Cups, this is you leaning into your heart's desire, leaning into your bliss, and receiving news, because this is a messenger card. Some really great news is coming in here for you, and I feel it helps you romance your life a little bit more, but it's an opportunity that makes your heart swell with joy. And I would say there's a little bit of celebration around that as well. For a lot of you, it could be financial news there as well. I'm also being given this energy because the Page of Cups can be connected to psychic abilities. So a lot of you could have some psychic flashes, some visions this month, and I would say pay close attention to them as well, because it will help you advance in your future and protect you should you need protection there as well. I would also say with that Page of Cups, some of you may put yourself on a course of learning to connect to your higher self. You're a very sensitive soul, especially this month, and it could be that you're really open to advancing your mindset in some way or your spiritual gifts. You may be leaning into learning more about mediumship for some of you, not all of you, of course, but it can be that you're thinking about learning tarot, or you're learning about scrying or remote viewing, for example. This is a water body, and whenever you have a body of water there, you can see visions in it. And this fish, of course, it shouldn't be there. It's symbolic of, something that is unusual and rare popping out. So it can be that your visions become a reality, and you're like, how do I foster this a little bit more? How do I delve a little bit deeper into that? So I feel like you may actually either download a course or find something online that will help you with that, or maybe even integrate yourself with a group of people. Again, there's going to be one person if you're integrating in a group of people, even if you're finding your soul tribe because you're outgrowing people or situations. There's going to be one person who's a little bit envious of you, or looks at you with an eye that they wish they were you. But as they mature, they'll learn more to lean into their own confidence and recognize that you are you, and that is your superpower, and they are them, and that is their superpower, and you cannot be anybody else. You may as well be you, okay? The wonderful, glorious you. But it may kind of manifest in a way where they either ostracize you or single you out, or you just get a vibe. Vibes don't lie, so just watch out for that as well. I mean, Queen of Pentacles, a lot of you definitely on top of your financial goals there. This is you strategizing, working really hard. You're committed to something right now. A lot of you committed to your family as well, but because your 2nd and 8th house is all over your month, this is about you doubling down on your finances, finding a way to create more. So this could be that you are picking up a second stream of income, or you are nurturing something that expands, because the Chariot card is all about expansion. If you're on social media, for example, you may be promoting yourself, or you're seen more there, getting a lot more attention, expanding your reach overseas, because there is a map in this. But I feel a lot of you, there could be some family from overseas that are coming over, and you are hosting a party or an event at your place. For some of you, there could even be one extra person who doesn't even tell you that they're showing up. And this could be like, oh, it throws you out of rhythm. So just watch out for that. It could be that someone just reaches out and says, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Was just wondering if I could drop on by. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, and you need to make it work, because that image of that twister game is there for you. But the Queen of Pentacles, this is about nourishing yourself and finding comfort. So moments where you can withdraw into the comfort of your own rhythm, your own home there, of course. And the Queen of Pentacles is also an energy of being responsible. And I would say if you are someone who is wanting to get pregnant, this is a great time to do that, because this is a very fertile time when you have the Queen of Pentacles, and then of course you have the Empress, which basically means baby on board. So congratulations if that is you. And for some of you, if you're already pregnant, I feel there is this energy of just telling your closest people about your birthing plan. Some of you may be like, okay, you know, you're giving birth. I don't see anything negative here, but it can be that you're keeping your plans, or you're keeping the birth of your child or children like hush hush, because you just don't want everyone descending on you at once and say, oh, let's see the baby, let's come on in. You're like, you know what, I'm exhausted, I just need a little bit of time. So you may be just like quietly getting yourself together, making sense of the right moment to allow people to come to visit. So that's coming through there as well. Now, of course, not everybody is wanting to get pregnant or wanting to have a child or raise a family. For some of you, there could be some news in and around fertility that you're trying to navigate or negotiate at this time, and you're trying to find alternatives, adopting, things like that. So you may be looking at the alternative path if you're someone who is not able to have children, or, you know, has decided that, you know, you want to adopt rather than give birth. That's your prerogative, of course. So you don't need to explain yourself to anybody, but perhaps your decision around family or children could cause some sort of conflict between you and someone who judges you. That's not right. They shouldn't judge you. They need to keep their nose out of your business. What you do does not need to be explained. It's your decision. But there could be something that arises in that regard in the month of November. Now, of course, as I said, not everybody's talking about children right now. So this could be you birthing new plans, new ideas. You are full of interesting things to create at this time. And I would say that this card indicates that you're someone who is going to be very productive. You're very gifted and talented. Whenever you have the Empress, that indicates that you know your worth, that you've come a long way, that you've explored a lot of avenues in your life, and you know who you are, and you are about to create more opportunity in your life. The Chariot card is a card of empowerment. So on a personal level, you're erecting healthier boundaries. I mean, I'm going to pull a quick card on these people, because there's so many people here. I feel there could be a change in a relationship or friendship, or you're outgrowing someone and it feels disappointing. You feel like they let you down, but you feel that the only way to deal with this is to limit your connection with this person or these people. We've got the Ten of Swords. It's over. Done. You may feel this person betrayed you. My guides are pointing at this card. So yeah, if you look at this person's finger, they're pointing in the side. Now this is symbolic. It is, a religious symbolism there. My readings are not about religion, but my guides are giving it to me right now. It can represent someone betraying a trust. So I hate to give that message, but if someone has betrayed a trust, I don't see you going back to that relationship. It's done. You don't lose people when you have held yourself to high regard. They lose you. So this betrayal, they've lost you. And for good is what I'm seeing there with that Ten of Swords. But also, because we've got the Death card here, something big could have ended here for you. And you may have needed all the strength to end that. You may be cutting out something that was toxic for you, or looking at things that hurt you, cause you pain. For some of you, this could be a food substance where you're like, okay, every time I have that, I have a reaction and I love it, but I got to acknowledge that I can't keep doing this to myself, so I got to stop it. For some of you, it can be that there's a person that takes advantage of your kindness, or is always kind of like putting you down, or, kind of drawing attention to your shortcomings. We all have some of those. Okay, it can be that someone calls you out for something or embarrasses you with something, and you're like, excuse me. So you may be like, no, I'm done here. That is it. You've given someone ample opportunity to step up or step out, and you're like, no, it's done. So I would say with that Ten of Swords, something was hard to let go of, or hard to kind of break a cycle with, but you're doing it. And it's the equivalent of deadheading the roses. How do you promote more growth? By cutting back anything that is dead, done, or over, and is not going to be conducive to your path, or is not going to promote healthy growth. So a lot of you are focused on your personal growth, and you are empowering yourself this month there as well. But with the High Priestess, a lot of you are connecting to your higher self, so you may have a hunch that someone has been perhaps negative talking behind your back. You may actually get this revealed, or someone is going to come towards you and tell you about it. I always say that if anyone comes to you and says, they said this about you, go and find the facts, because sometimes you got to ask, why is this person telling that? They may be on your side and wanting you to be aware, and that's great. It means they're a great friend. But is that person also going back to the other person saying, well, they said this? So you need to really lean into your intuition, but also find the facts behind that. That's coming out there as well. I mean, the High Priestess indicates you're in the middle of something. You are in the bridging divide point where you are in a flurry of activity, making your plans work. And, you're going to see the results. Certainly from November onwards, the end of November in particular onwards, you're going to see things start to co-align, start to come together, things start to flourish there. It's harvest time for you, but you may feel like when you're in the middle of things, it's hard and it's hard to advance, but advancement is going to happen. You're thinking of your direction at this time. You may be a little bit cautious about the direction that the world is taking, or the path that you're on. You're not sure, but I can see a lot of success here, a lot of transformation. And yes, it's hard. No one said it was ever easy. It's because you care. You put yourself under extra pressure when you care so much about something. But your final card is abundance. It is an energy of valuing yourself, making sure there's reciprocity in your life, attracting more wealth, and securing your position, maintaining and sustaining, staying on top of your health goals so that you feel really great about yourself. But let me pull a card on that Three of Swords in particular. Also, I am getting an energy here of... some of you may need a change of prescription when it comes to glasses in particular, but there could be a change of prescription. Always check out with a healthcare professional there. But for some of you, there may be some deterioration of like a prescription eyesight that's coming through there as well. So once you get on top of that, I feel like that's manageable, okay? But you may be noticing that this month. For some of you, not all of you. Can you please clarify this Three of Swords? Why is it in the outcome energy along with the Empress, the Fool card, and the Five of Cups? Yeah. So again, some of you, in order to be a little bit more independent or free or do something fun, some of you may let someone down, cancel, rearrange there. That's definitely coming out there. The Fool card can indicate something new requires you shedding things that you've outgrown. Five of Cups is to let it go, let it flow. And also, a lot of you are doing some processing this month, cathartically letting go of something that was hard, forgiving the past. And remember, forgiveness, it sets you free. It's not about giving someone else a free pass. It's about lightening the energy. Because if you're angry or if you're upset with anybody, you're feeling that within yourself. It is stuck in your pain body. And of course, it's not really affecting the other person. The only person it's hurting is you. So it's about letting that go so that you can free yourself up and open yourself up to more fun, enjoyment, and basically not rob yourself of joy holding on to something that you've outgrown or is too heavy right now. Also, the Five of Cups, I kind of like the Five of Cups because it means you're looking at things that have run their course in your life or things that are just not hitting right, and you feel disappointed. It takes a lot of energy to transform your life around, but you're doing that, and suddenly the universe is aligning you with something that is more fulfilling. A traditional Rider-Waite Tarot Five of Cups sees a figure really looking at all the things that were full at one time. So it can be that a relationship or an experience or an environment, you used to love it, but now you've lost that loving feeling for it. And now you're kind of contemplating, well, why did this happen? What has gone wrong here? Things have been spilt. You may have felt that something's been ruined or something just doesn't feel the same way, or you've been disappointed. But the universe asks the figure to change either direction, turn around basically in that card and see that there are two full cups there. The universe is aligning you with something better in this moment. So I feel that the best is yet to come. This could be a proposal for some of you. If you're in a relationship and your partner has not popped the question, you may be really thinking about, as you mature, are you investing in a relationship that you love but is not aligned with what you want in the relationship or your values? And you may actually see that your person kind of steps up and has a conversation regarding commitment and long-term, commitment in terms of marriage. I mean, I feel like they're not there yet looking at the energy, but they may actually have that challenging conversation with you to let you know where you stand. And then you get to decide whether you want to continue investing in this relationship. Of course, there's love there. But if there's love there and you want to settle down and have children, for example, and your person doesn't, then you could be misaligned. And that's one of the most painful things to accept, but accept you must. And then you get to decide what you do next with that relationship. And of course, this could be a conversation where, your partner changes their mind, but it is their mind that they need to change. And of course, you cannot change it for them. So there could be some challenging conversations with relationships there, but it is to set you both free and see if you are aligned in the same direction. And of course, a lot of you with that Fool card, you want to be free from something that is hard. So a lot of you are clearing down your workload, making sure you're on top of things, maybe even getting ahead of yourself, getting up early, or, however you run your day. Just getting ahead of yourself so that you can be free to enjoy yourself. The Fool card is to be footloose and fancy free. But I see a lot of you, because the Fool card, it is an Aries card. This can be that, you are empowering yourself, something within you has changed, and this is a month where you feel like you're coming home to self, or you feel more like yourself than you've done in a long time. That passionate spark is returning. The sense of responsibility is not robbing you of joy. Life has got pretty heavy and hard recently, of course, and the Fool card can indicate you're going to have fun. You're leaning into your playful side. A lot of you, Scorpio season, is going to make you think about your journey from childhood to now. So it can be that you're processing a lot of challenging experiences you had, and you're remembering the good times, honoring the bad times, and recognizing how strong you are to have come so far in your life and that you're still standing. And I would say there's a lot of reward to come, a lot of good things to come, a lot of development to come. And of course, the Five of Cups, if you're grieving a past relationship or separation, you're about to find true love. Someone who aligns with you and walks by your side, someone you have a bond with like no other. Also, if you've been worried about finances, I would say that you're taking action this month in order to double down on your wealth. I mean, look, I can feel it in your energy. You are abundant. That's literally your second and eighth house. Some of you, if you're taking a second stream of income or you're creating a side hustle in secret, I feel it's just going to be monumentally abundant there for you. Interesting. Look at your cards. So we've got 888, and then we've got 9, and then we've got 999. So lots of numerical synchronicities indicating positive changes coming in your life. We've got 888 there, and it says, as you focus on all the wonderful things that surround you, you're clearing the path for more positive energy to flow into all areas of your life and create the place for more abundance. So I feel a lot of you are decluttering, detoxifying, letting go, sorting through stuff in order to create space for more things that are more important or more fulfilling. We've also got number 9. Okay, and it says there, I am compassionate. Yes, you are, with the Empress. You give a lot of advice to people there to help them out. Some of you could also help someone with some finances. If it's finances you want to get back, make sure you have a contract or an agreement with that. But it says here, it is your compassion that makes you shine. The Empress and the Queen of Wands. It says, you are devoted to helping the greater good and have a strong talent for speaking up for others. Your soul is most satisfied when you are being of service. So whatever it is you're doing, you're helping out in some way. And this could be that you're helping your family, friends, or even the world at large in some way. But we've also got 999. And it says, I am unique. Yes, you are unique. And so is the Fool card. The Fool is someone who's unique, bold, daring, and different. And I feel like you're leaning into those traits this month. It says, thank the past for your lessons and leave it where it belongs, so you can make the best of life that is still waiting for you to be fulfilled only by you. I am unique. Okay, so a lot more fulfillment in the future there. And I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. So we have a 4-leaf clover, but it is in the shape of red hearts. So a lot of you being more fulfilled when it comes to love, but also this can be, that your passion is going to be the thing that makes you lucky. It is your intensity, you're driven, you're ambitious, and I feel like there's going to be some lucky breaks, some spontaneity that occurs in the month of November there. And there is one piece of news that you will really celebrate. But as I said, it feels a little bit bittersweet, but it's more celebration than it is, disappointment. So I want you to be aware of that. The best is yet to come. So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Aries. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, and love and light.